Be about 5 seconds. Alrighty, guys, got a pretty crazy podcast for you guys today. Mate, Lewis, so happy with your results so far. Mate, do you want to just kind of introduce yourself with a little bit of the results you got, and then tell us a little bit about your business, where you're at, what got you here today?
Yeah, sure, man. Thanks, Jimmy, for having me on. I guess I run a women's only gym and obviously help them lose some weight, and came across your program, love what you do, and we started off with that Godfather offer, and it just went off. We've got about 80 members at the time when we launched it. We had about 30 people interested, but ended up selling about 18 people out of the 30. And the one-off price for the 12-month membership was about $2,500, which we got about 44K, I think it was. So it was a big lump sum banked. It was phenomenal. And just to see that cash flow come in, at this time with COVID going around, it just gave me a little bit of breathing space, but allowed me to look forward, which was really exciting.
Yeah, mate, and it's absolutely incredible result. And I really like the Godfather because, now we've got like a nice little bank of money where we can grow pretty aggressively for another 3 months. Then you get to run it again. And you can go in these nice little like cash flow loops, which I'll teach you about over the next couple of weeks. So about 80 members, mid 40K cash collected. And mate, with the women's only gym, really nice niche. I love that you've niched down. What made you do women's only?
This is a really good question, because when I had my first mentor back in probably about 6-7 years ago, we learned all this niching and marketing, all that sort of stuff. And I found that working with women, I've got a pretty good feminine side to me, and I work really well with women. And the challenging aspect, men I found too easy. Women were a lot more of a challenge, which at times can be a bit of a shot to the head. But at the same time, it was great. And, obviously I'm close with my mum as well. And just seeing the one thing that we value more than anything is family. You would know as well, being Italian. And I know from an influence position, if you influence and inspire and motivate the woman, it tends to have a ripple effect on the family. The man gets involved, the kids get involved, and we're all about, through our mission, to help women become stronger, more confident role models. And to do that, that's going to seek a more fulfilling meaning to myself, which is a generational movement, something that I wish I had when I was younger as well. I love helping men at the same time, but when it comes to health and fitness, seeing families like really grow as a unit is something I really love and adore. So seeing that, and that's kind of why I've stuck with women.
Yeah, mate, you spoke that so beautifully, hey. When I was we had like a unisex gym, but when I was a personal trainer, I specifically worked with females over the age of 40, and I absolutely loved it. I definitely, got a lot of mates and things like that, but I 100% me personally preferred to train females as well. And I think it's just such a great niche, and you've got such a really cool community there as well. And mate, we were talking a bit before, so you used to be like a cabinet maker for many years, and then now being a gym owner. Tell us a bit about that transition and what made you change. It's quite an interesting bit we're chatting about.
Yeah, definitely. My story, like, I've always wanted to do more, and helping people was something, just out of reach. I just wanted to. It all started being significant. I wanted to be the one that helped people, and the people, people to bow to in a way. But I started to be a little bit more humbled and understand the traits that it's all about solving problems. And by helping people, you first need to help yourself. So on that trend of being a cabinet maker, that's kind of where my family and that background of what you're designed to be. You're designed to be a cabinet maker, tradie. If you're a woman, you're a hairdresser, or you work at a bank, and that's kind of where it went. And I wanted more. And I guess where it started to lead to me questioning where I was, am I growing here and am I fulfilled? Because then I started hanging out with people like yourself that inspired, but also raised the standard for me to seek more. And once I started to see that, I knew cabinet making wasn't for me anymore. And I love it. And you'll see, like I've showed you around the gym, I've got so
Yeah.
much. I've got this corner. I've got lockers. I've got a team area now. You'll see bolted up wood. The toilet area looks Mickey Mouse, right? But it was never fulfilling, and that's what led me down to PT. Still did cabinet making just to get some cash in to build the business myself, but over time, putting in the effort over and over again, it just led to something greater, which was PT, and now it's led me to coaching more. And I guess one opportunity that we step out of our comfort zone to achieve leads to something greater and bigger again, and it's just exciting to see what keeps happening, which is great.
Mate, absolutely, absolutely amazing. And I think a lot of people in fitness get in because we believe we can change the world, whether it's with an online business or a gym and things like that. And we're just so lucky to be able to transform people or make them happier, females, men, every
Yeah,
single day. I think
of course.
as hard as it's been in COVID, we don't know how lucky we truly are to be in the fitness industry. We're really so lucky to be able to connect with people on the deep levels that we do every day.
100%, 100%.
And mate, so you're at 80 members at the moment. What's your big vision for the business? Where you're looking to take it?
Um, well, we just hit yesterday 90 members, so that's an all-time high. We've always wanted, I've got this little story. It's been a while, and I'm the only one that holds me back because I try and wear every freaking hat, in the business, and we know that doesn't work. So this is where hiring women that have kids and can relate to the clients themselves, and plus getting my partner involved now into the business has just freed up more time. But also, I
Yep.
find that the coaching with the girls and the training themselves, the girls are resonating a lot more and having more fun with them. It's just hard to come from a person that loves a little bit of significance here and there, right? But
Yeah.
end of the day, seeing that has allowed me to save some time, which has allowed me to put more time into other areas and grow the business, which is exactly what we're focusing on. So the big goal, and this is my little thing, I've always wanted to reach 100 clients. My first milestone was 80, and we first reached that with you guys as well.
Yep.
But hitting 90 was another big stepping stone, and the 100 is the big one. Now I've got a sled, which I call my swimming pool because it's blue and
Yeah.
it divides the gym. And I want to do a video where I go out and just buy a freaking expensive cricket bat, and just run through and put some background music in and just raise that fucker up. And hit
Mate,
100
that's so
members.
cool.
So that's in the vision, and just seeing the place grow, and just seeing the value that is already launched up to a high new standards, just because of the team, my partner and myself, all having our own roles with helping clients, has just been awesome. So we do want to see it go to about 120, 150 members, but I'm quite happy just gradually going up in tens and just refining where we're lacking in the business, which, like I've told you at the moment, team checklists and just operations in the place itself, I would love to cover before we go more in depth in other things like marketing and sales and things like that. So it's just
Yep.
one step at a time.
Yeah, and mate, I think we get marketed to a lot that adding 50 members in 28 days and 2 months. I'm sure you've seen all those ads, but sometimes it can do more damage to our business than actual good. So
Well, yeah,
I like to grow by +2, +3 members a week at a maximum. So then your systems can kind of maintain and hold.
yes.
And mate, I think you're one of the hardest things. I've actually never talked about this in a video, but when I went from, because I'm very all or nothing, right? So I was doing like 30 hours of training a week, and then I actually ruptured my pec playing sport, and I couldn't. And when I changed from being that showman on the floor, training people, helping them get results, to like a manager, it was one of the hardest transitions for me in fitness, that changing of roles, which you're going to go to, where, only way I can say it's where you're not the man anymore, where, they've got other trainers helping them and things like that.
Yeah.
And I remember I was going through a phase where they're like, oh, thank you, Chris, for transforming my life. And it used to be like, thank you, Jimmy. And it's just a
Yeah.
funny thing. It's just a funny thing to go through that's not talked to much is, as business owners, we're always changing roles and changing our identity and things like that. And look, it's definitely something you'll go through over the next couple of months, and probably more so over the next like 5, 10 years. And it's just interesting. It never gets easier. It's just, you got to roll with the punches.
It's funny you say that though, because I've already witnessed three occasions over the past probably 4 weeks where we've had specific testimonials come back and my name wasn't praised.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
different
funny.
for me
It's
because, yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's like you're really happy, but it's just yeah, it's just funny. It's just funny. So you learn to
yeah.
love it and things like that. Like, but yeah, I remember it quite clearly, and it'll happen again. You know, you'll go into a different role, and then you'll hire someone to do that, and you'll be a new person. And mate, you said something a while back, and I just wrote a note of working. So in our company, the Inner Circle, I work with my wife every single day. And it
Yep.
has its pros and cons, of course, but I absolutely love it. And so you and your partner work in the business together. Is that how it works?
We've pretty much just started. She's literally about to quit her job in the next probably month at the most, and she's already cut down 2 days to do more work in the gym.
I'm so happy, man. It's
So
such a, I
big
love
transition.
working. Yeah, I love working with my wife in our business every day.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have your work hat on and then your love hat on and things like that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't change it for the world. It has
I
its
love
moments, but
Yeah, I
it's
love the
amazing.
challenge, man. One big thing we do every week, and we haven't missed one, and we started it this year, is every Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's just me and her time. And gradually, what it's been has been how can we help each other in the
Yep.
relationship grow and make sure that we're fulfilling each other in that way. And I'm a massive believer in that. It's not two halves come together; it's two people coming together and supporting one another on our dreams and where we want to go together and helping each other out as much as we possibly can. But one thing that we've always done is meet up at that time and question each other and having that safe space over breakfast because it's not a good idea to talk about that sort of stuff when you're hungry, as you would. So having a nice breakfast out every Friday, it's tradition now, and just doing that, we utilize some of that time now, like we did this morning when we were with Dylan for content
Yep.
marketing. We did it together because she's going to be doing more of the content marketing now on her side. So it's just again me trying to leverage more time and give her more responsibility to see more about what's inside the business, like we've already talked about. So one little nutshell at a time and just using that time, it allows us to not only speak about business, but more importantly, us and where we're going, how's our money, how do we feel, what do we want more from each other. And it kind of gives us that place to put in the effort on both the love and the business side of things, which is good because you don't have communication, mate. You know, you can't really guess what they're thinking.
It's
You
nothing.
gotta communicate.
Yeah, and mate, it sounds like I really like the way that you speak about the world and you know how level-headed you are and you have really great perspective on things. Have you read any books, self-development courses? What got you to kind of where you are today in terms of you know the man you are? We've never talked on this deeper level, and I just want to say you're
Yeah.
fucking proper legend. Like where we see the world through very similar eyes. What have you done anything in the past or with family orientation? What kind
Yeah.
of
Um, it's funny you ask that because I think where it all started was just not happy where like in a way, a legacy. I didn't want to be remembered for what my family goes through. And it's nothing against what my family does. I love them to bits, and they've got so many traits that I've taken from them that have helped me, you know, be kind and loving and generous and all of that. But I've also got guilt and pleaser and peaceful maker and all the other traits that you know you're trying to solve over time. And you know, as a younger kid, when I was at least 16, 17, this is where I started to ask for more. And it wasn't until I was about 18, 19 is when I started to see Tony Robbins, Les Brown, ET, all those big names that you start listening to and watching YouTube. And I would just plug away, and I'd listen to those motivational speeches every day. I would have my headphones in, and if I was around
Yep.
family, friends, wherever I was, I'd literally disconnect and just be connected to that on a whole new level. I didn't know what I wanted. At the time, you know, you want to make money, and I
Yep.
always chased my father's love. And knowing that from a younger age, not back then, but figuring out that I wanted his love, I knew connection with him was about success. through making
Yep.
money. And it wasn't about the passion you had and, the love that you have for what you do. And those are the things that I took off from him, which led me down to a gambling addiction. I've lost over $200,000 in gambling through lottery, sports bet, and just struggling to find myself and figuring out how I can make a quick dollar, which is what would get my love from my dad. So he was one of the reasons what made me do more, because I wanted to find another way to be greater and better, rather than looking at every person that wore a tie as a prick or a lucky bastard that had loads of money, and stop questioning that and kind of find my own way. And, I'm in a much better place now, obviously financially and mentally and all that. But it all started there. And then, obviously hiring mentors, and really love my coaches and mentors. You need them in life, and going on business retreats. I've been on multiple business retreats around the world.
Love
I've
a
traveled
business
to, love business retreats. Bali, like 6-7 times. Sarah's come to me on 2 to 3 occasions, which has been great. I've been to Thailand and LA, Singapore, Switzerland, just business retreats. And we used to do them every, say, 3 months. So it'd be super exciting, because you do like a 90-day plan, you'd build all that up, and then you'd go over. And one of the mentors we used to have, I was with him for about 2 years, and the second year he started to crash, because like we were talking about before, when you start taking on too many people, you start losing your value in the service itself. So in the first year, when he had about 30, 40 clients, paying him around $400 a week, which was quite intense at the time, but the value was enormous, and we learned so much. But every 12 weeks we would go away to somewhere and learn something new, and if we achieved something, he'd give us a medal, which was pretty cool. We'd experience all this, and we'd be around people that were uplifting, wanting more, and it just opened my eyes to new things, and I just wanted more out of life. And every year it's just been a little bit more humbling, figuring out a little bit more about myself, and just wondering how I can be a better me. And there's always things that I can see in myself that I can improve, and every year goes by, it's just another thing. So it's been a big journey.
Yeah. Maybe we could talk about I used to play like footy at like not a really high level, but I thought I was going to make NRL. And I used to gamble a shit ton. Man, it was ludicrous as a kid. I used to be a renderer, and I'd just get paid cash and stuff, and then before training at the tab, after training, sports bet. I didn't want to think about how much. One day, I've never talked about this. So one night it was the Lions versus the Wallabies, and I lost $8,000 on a game. And since that moment, I haven't gambled again. I was a young kid. I would have been about 22. And just lost like $8,000. I got like a hot tip, as you do. Just put a lot of money on it, and I lost by a point. And then actually, that's a lie. I have gambled since, but like just very like kind of casually with friends, but like it's just pretty much stopped for like 4 or 5 years, and now I just put like $5 on multis here and there. It's not spoken about when we're young, man. When we're young, and the pokies and shit.
Well, it's an addiction, man. Like they've done a study that almost winning compared to winning is the same dopamine hit you get, which is crazy. So by being in that same position, you just losing by that point, you still feel like you've won. It's fucking weird. It's funny you say that.
Mate, when I quit, I stopped watching sport like AFL, NRL, because I used to gamble to get more out of the sport, and like I enjoy sport, but I was gambling to enhance the experience. And now 10 years on, I can watch an AFL game or rugby league game without a bet and get enjoyment. But at the time, for many years, I didn't. I just was like, just wouldn't watch sport, because I'm like, what's the point if you got nothing on it? Crazy.
I hear you, man. It's not. I've got plenty of stories I can chat to you about, man. It's nuts. But
when
in the past,
when I get over to Perth, bro, we'll catch up.
Have a good chat. I'll share some big stories how I lost tens of thousands of dollars. You wait for this.
Mate, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. I had an absolute blast, but More importantly, I'm so proud of the results you've gotten. It was really, really nice to connect with you on a deeper level today. I
Thanks,
can't
mate.
wait to get over to
You too.
Perth, and we definitely want to run international retreats and stuff, obviously with COVID. So hopefully we get to spend, 5, 6, 7 days in Bali or Thailand together and catch up a bit more.
That'd be killer.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, man.